What you gonna turn it into? What you gonna turn it into? Cause it's either what you gonna turn it into, or what is it turning you into. I was sitting here reflecting, or found myself reflecting on the conversation, a few different conversations actually that I don't have with a few different people, you know, and it got to the point that I recall myself saying the same thing 3 different times in 3 different conversations pertaining to 3 different sets of people, you know, and that reflection showed me a correlation, a common correlation, a common connection uh, of the same theme of things playing out in different shapes and forms, and because we all feeling it, you hear me? We all we all feeling it, you know, and that's why I asked the question, or I posed the question to us: what is it turning you into? You know, what is it turning you into? Or what are you turning into? One is a conscious decision. One is default. But we all feeling it, you know, regardless of what we choosing. You know, I'm just you know energy following intention. You know, I'm just using my energy to follow energy, follow the energy through with intention. You heard? Cause it's going on. You know, it says light and dark share the same source. You know, it's no better time than now for me to travel on the grid. You know, and assist the collective as I assist as I lift myself. Assist the collective as I lift myself. You heard? And the beauty in that is the journey. The journey so selfish that it's selfless because source always calling out it. Source always calling out itself in its quest to seek itself. You know, source calls the source always. So nobody here by mistake. I said all that to say that. Um, I got so many downloads, man. I got so much backlog, you know, because even even though I may not get a chance to record, I'm always recording. You know, I got so many, and I got a whole another stack or two over there. I got so many downloads because I write stuff down. You know, if you want to if you want to track your life, if you want you know you got to get in the habit of writing stuff down. You got to get in that you got to get in the habit of using pens and pads. They still necessary. I know we got our phones. I know we got technology, but some things we need to actually write down. If you know, you know. But yeah, I got so many downloads, man. And then what I wrote on these cards, what I got on these cards, ain't even ain't even half, you know, uh, what I got sitting in front of me, you know. But I just came through to say a few things, you know. Speak to the blessings, you know. Speak to the breakthroughs, you know. Speak to the builders. Um, and just allow the spirit to move through me how the spirit gonna move through me, you know. Um, it's been real. These transits, you know, the shifts, the inner transits as well as the outer transits, external transits or planetary transits, the inner shifts as well as the planetary shifts. You know, it's been real. you know, um, and it's giving us a chance to really get to know, really get to explore, really get to grow, really encourage, courage, uh, self-reflection, and self-analyzation, and come to some conclusions uh, of what we need to do more of, come to some conclusions of what we need to do less of, you know, come to, and find balance and harmony in all those things. As I had said before, opposition encourages growth, you know, and which brings me back to the something that was just in dialogue, you know, opposition don't encourage. Not only does opposition encourage growth, pain encourages growth. And if we be honest with ourselves, with, without pain, most of us wouldn't grow at all. We wouldn't have nothing. We wouldn't have the knowledge needed. We wouldn't have the knowledge that pain provides, you know, for to have what's needed, to be able to proceed through it, so it's a beautiful thing. And it's one of the things that make us resilient. Challenges make us resilient. Obstacles make us resilient. Um, um, Tests make us resilient. Make us durable. Um, and that word is so important because it says a lot about us, or it don't, depending on what we find ourselves facing. But resilience is the ability to withstand adversity. So how we able to withstand adversity say a lot about us, or say nothing at all about us. Um, Resilience reveals how we able to bounce back after after a setback has occurred. You know, um, Not only is our ability to withstand adversity, is how we bounce back after a setback that speak about and reveal the type of resilience that we have. You know, most most people are aware uh, of our resilience more than we are, and it's so important for us to start seeing ourselves as others see us, especially when it comes to the more higher, the higher qualitative regards. Um, most, but most people are more aware of our resilience than we are, and the same way we be more aware of people, of things about people than they be of themselves. They work both ways. It's always working both ways. Most times only one person get the benefit from the whole of it. If that, sometimes if you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. But it gives it's an opportunity to observe one another. Resilience gives us an opportunity. Our level of resilience gives us an opportunity to observe one another through our experiences in ways that we don't get to see ourselves in the experiences that we having with one another. You might have to rewind it. Um, as individuals and as collectives, for those who able to see through the lens that I just described, you know, it's a testimony to our individuality within the collective, because we all got goals. You know, we all we all have goals, but who are we becoming the more we move towards these goals? Who are we becoming the more we move towards our desires? Who are we becoming the more we move towards our imagination? who are we becoming, the more manifestation collapses into our reality. Who are we becoming? It's a good question, ain't it? Who are we becoming? Because because whatever we manifesting, based on the qualitative state that we was in, upon setting it in motion, it's gonna matter once it come once it come into motion. Stay with me. It's gonna matter because manifesting is not just about what appear on the surface. You know, so the state that we're manifesting from, for those of us who are operating in states, as well as the space that we manifest from, for those of us who have moved into occupying our own space and our own energy signature. It matters because manifesting is not just about what appear on the surface. You know, it's not it's not just about what appear on the surface, especially in comparison to to the lessons, you know, the lessons that's required, the lessons that's needed, the lessons that's mandated, you know, for us to grow along the way, that allow us to grow on the way, to give us an opportunity to grow on the way. Cause a lot of us here acting like 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 life is is not it's not the privilege we is. I'll say it like that. A lot of us here moving around operating like life is not the privilege that it is, and 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 I get it, cause I've been there. I can't act like I'm excluded. I don't been there, so I get it, you know. But I also understand that, you know, we ain't got time to play. I was just having a conversation with my little cousin. We ain't got time to play, and he was talking about, you know, he younger than me. I'm a senior in comparison to him, you know. So he recognized, we was talking in a way that allowed me to see that he recognized, you know, in the changes that he made with his life to transform his life. He ain't had time to play, you know. He ain't had time to play, and he utilized that time, you know, to get himself together, and he could see the comparison. Not that he was comparing, you know, but we got to use what we got. So he was able to see where he is today versus where he used to be, from his peers that's still going through the same cycles, you know, that he used to find himself, or that he could have found himself going through, you know. And that's a good thing, you know. That's a good thing, especially in reflection of him being in connection with me. That's a good thing, because I'm not the person that, you know, that I used to be. You know, I get it, and it took a lot of work to get from point A to point B, you know, and we don't know where point C gonna take us at, you know, until we get there, you know, and then we'll get there. We'll know what we need to do once we find ourselves there. Stay with me, you know, because it's a privilege, you know. Life is a privilege. You hear me? Life is a privilege. Life is a privilege. Um, and we all got a choice. Like I said, it's about blessings and breakthroughs. You know, it's about blessings and breakthroughs. And your transformation matter. Your transformation matter. Whoever you experiencing your transformation with, whoever you sharing your journey with, um, their transformation matter. If they're going through one, and if they having one, and if they're not, that's meant to show you something. You hear me? That's meant to show you something. But in it all, everyone experiencing their own reality shaped by their own beliefs. You know, through our own thinking. You know, for us to realize that life reflects what we expect. You know, life reflects what we expect, not what we desire, but exactly what we are. And by this time, now, many of us have don't realize to start expecting the best, especially when the best was not in sight because we ain't used to it, or when the best wasn't in sight because we wasn't used to it. But that's what got us this far and give us the opportunity to give ourselves, you know, what we never had. Give ourselves uh yeah, as I said, what we never had by being better than we never been. You know, cause like I say, that's what got us this far, and that's what faith do. It carry you till you get there. That's what vision do. It carry you till you get there. Is there any message? Is anybody listening? That's what faith do. Carry you till you get there. As long as you can hold a space till you get there. You hear me? I love y'all. I ain't come through the state long. I just came through to say a few things. We ain't gonna try to get it all through at one night, but I just came through to make my spread it felt because it been about 4 days. I know. I don't use it often, but I miss y'all too. But restoration. We in retrograde. So in retrograde, reflection is required. Rewinding is required, reviewing is required, regeneration is required, rest is required, restoration is required, renovation is required. You see, all the reads. If you don't know a reread, you know one now. Because we in retrograde, so this is the time to take time and be kind to yourself, be patient. Stay in poise. Remember, poise is principles over impulse. Principles over impulse stabilize emotions. So it's a good time to be exercising poise. Know how to be unbothered. You know, knowing how to be unbothered is a sign of self-respect, because that means you ain't gonna step outside your space. You know, to meet anything or anybody in the space lower than the space you reside in. So high vibrational is not an option. You know, that's the space we want to always try to find ourselves in. When we find ourselves not in a high vibrational space, we know we need to do something to get there. So we can be there for no reason at all. Because that's part of feeling good for no reason at all, is being in a high vibrational space. You can't feel good if you're not in high vibrations. So it's not, even if it don't make sense now, hopefully before you find yourself completed with this space, it'll make sense. Cause until you don't need a reason, it ain't second nature yet, and that's why repetition is important. You hear me? Cause once it's second nature, that mean that mean you don't even gotta think about it to do it. You see? So it's just like anything else, and what we doing right here. I haven't been able to be consistent. Life is life, so I ain't been able to be consistent as I like to be. But even though I might not appear through video, I'm always building. I'm always building. So always continue to be on your build, regardless of what's going on, cause consistency builds character. Consistency builds character. And good character, good character, good character. It's rewarded in the spiritual in the spiritual kingdoms. Trust me. You know, but until we do it again, if you haven't by now, you know what to do. Hit the like, share the video. I gotta figure out a title for it. Uh, Drop your comments if you got them, your questions if you got them. You know, I'm crazy enough to be happy. I hope you find it in yourself to be that way too. You can be crazy enough to be anything that you want to be, as long as it's high vibratory. You hear me? Because a lot of us was called crazy anyway. So you might as well find something high vibratory, you know, in quality to be crazy about. You know, you could be crazy about happiness. You could be crazy about peace. You could be crazy about healing. You could be crazy about shadow work. See, I'm crazy. If I'm crazy enough to be it, why can't you be? And if not you, who? You hear me? Somebody gotta be the example. Somebody gotta be the example that anybody could be, but most won't be. So if not me, who? You hear me? So I'm happy to be the example. I said that to say this. I'm known as I will be you, how you be you. I love y'all. Peace, family, and soul tribe. CEO to my Indians. You know, shalom, mahalo, alafia, namaste, and all that other good stuff. Till we do it again. Love.